Okay, class, today, if you'll look at the blue packet, look for the solving multi-step equations. So we have solved 1- and 2-step equations. We've learned to distribute and combine like terms, and today we're putting all of that together to solve harder equations. It's still following the same pattern though. So we want to look for the equal sign, we want to look for the variable, and then we want to use distributive if necessary and combine like terms, and then we will start solving. So let's just try an example. So if you will look at the first example, example 1, it says solve and check. So like always, we want to find the equal sign. And if you look on the left-hand side, we have a 2x plus 3 plus 3x equals 33. So the first thing we want to do is clean up both sides of the equation if necessary. So just like you would have done the other day, so you take the 2x plus the 3x, which should give you 5x, plus 3 equals 33. So then at that point, you're back to a 2-step equation, which you have become really good at solving. So we use inverse operations. So you think to yourself, okay, 5x plus 3. How do I get rid of the plus 3? I subtract 3 from both sides. And then this would go away, and I'd bring down my 5x, my equal sign, and then I do this. What is it? 33 minus 3 would be 30. So at this point, I have 5 times what equals 30. So many of you know that already, but how do you undo it? It's times, so you divide both sides by 5, and therefore x equals 30 divided by 5 is 6. Circle my answer, and then if you go back up and check, you should get 2 times 6 plus 3 plus 3 times 6, and let's see what that equals. So 2 times 6 is 12, plus 3 plus 3 times 6 is 18. This is 15 plus 18 is 33, which is what this side of the equation was equal to. Therefore, we solved it correctly. Okay, so looking again, we found our equal sign. We cleaned up the left-hand side with like terms by combining like terms, and then we went ahead and solved the equation. Okay, let's go on to problem B. So look at it, we'll find our equal sign, and you can see we have multiple variables there. So what do we do first? Well, I see that there's multiplication outside the parentheses with addition, subtraction on the inside, so I think of distributive property. So I want to take the 2 times the x plus 2 times 7, 14, plus 5x equals 70. And then I look for, on the left-hand side, I have some cleaning up to do. I have a 2x and a positive 5x. This is a positive 2x plus 5x. That would give me 7x. I bring down my plus 14 equals 70. So then I look again, and now I'm to a 2-step equation. I have to start getting x by itself, so I want to get rid of the plus 14, so I subtract 14. So I bring down on the left-hand side, I bring down 7x. This is gone. That went to 0. Bring down my equal sign, and 70 minus 14 is 56. So then at this point, I want to see what number times 7 is 56. How do I get rid of times? I divide, and therefore x equals 8. If I go back up to the top and plug in 8, where I had my x, 8 plus 7 is 15. So 2 times 15 plus 5 times 8, which is 40. 30 plus 40 equals 70, which is what the right-hand side was equal to. So, check mark. We have done that correctly. Okay, if you need to, rewind and watch that again and go through and figure out how to solve for x. If not, let's go on to problem C. So I find my equal sign. I look at my right-hand side and I just have 25 over there. Sometimes you might have to clean up the right-hand side. On this one, I look again for like terms. I have a 3x and a 6x. So remember, I want to look at the signs in front of them. So that was a little big. So I look at my positive 6x and my positive 3x. And I combine them and I get 9x. And then I have a positive 5 and a negative 7, or a plus 5 and a minus 7, however you want to look at it, which should give me minus 2, or negative 2, equals, and then I have 25 on the right-hand side. So then at this point I have a 9x, 9 times what number minus 2 is 25. So I undo the minus 2 by adding 2. I bring down my 9x. I bring down my 27. At this point, it's 9 times what number is 27, and I think most of you probably know. Whoops. You divide both sides by 9. X equals 3. To check my answer, I'd go back up to the top and plug in 3 and make sure both sides balance. Okay, let's move on to D. Example D. Find your equal sign. Look for your variable. It's on the left-hand side, but oh, you can tell by the left-hand side that I need to do some cleaning up. Means I need to simplify. In order to simplify, I want to use distributive property right here. I have to bring the 14 down though, because it's not involved in that. Plus, and then 3 times m is 3m. 3 times a positive 3 and a negative 9, I want to make minus 27, equals 17. So then I look at the left-hand side and I have a 3m by itself. It doesn't have any like terms. So I use that up, but what else do I have left? I have a positive 14, because if there's nothing in front of it, it means it's plus. And I have a negative 27. So I really have 3m minus 13 equals 17. Now I'm back to a two-step equation, which is what you just have been using and doing in class for a few days. So at this point, you think, what do I do next? I want to add 13 to both sides, because instead of minus 13, I add 13. That goes away, and I bring down my 3m. I bring down my equal sign, and I bring down 17 plus 13 is 30. And then I think about, okay, how 3 times what is 30? So I divide both sides by 3. M equals 10. To make sure you're right, you can go back up to the top and plug it in. And if I plug in a 10 here, I get 10 minus 9 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 14 plus 3 is 17. So it checks out. Okay, if you need to, you can rewind and look at these again or come back to them later. If not, go ahead and start on worksheet number 6. And remember just to think through it, clean up both sides, and then start solving it like you would a normal two-step equation.